Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Transparent Homeschool. My name is Beth, and if you haven't seen any of my videos before, I homeschool two kiddos, a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and we have a 7-month-old baby. The last video that I did, I think last week, was about how we make homeschool work with our baby. And when I was pregnant, I was like in all-out research mode for how to make this work because we are now in our second year. So last year when I was pregnant, it was our first year, and so we were just kind of getting the hang of things, and then the baby comes along and it throws everything for a loop. So I was really kind of searching YouTube and everywhere else for how to kind of navigate the waters of homeschooling with a newborn and then as she's growing up, a baby. And I got some okay ideas, but honestly, it's very much been trial and error of kind of what works, what doesn't, when to do this and when to do that. As with any baby, you just really have to kind of wait out the storm and just really kind of make a rhythm that fits for your family. Same thing with the homeschool. That has to fit into the whole rhythm of things as well. So the last video that I did, like I said, was kind of how we've been doing homeschooling with the baby. And today I wanted to kind of elaborate a little bit more on that topic and do a video about like the schedule and kind of the schedule that we follow, with our 7-month-old. Now, as I go through these, I want everybody to know that this is not like a rigid schedule. So I had last year a very rigid schedule and it drove me nuts. I thought that is what I wanted, but then as I got started, I was like, this is crazy. I don't want to do this anymore. So this year I learned from my mistakes, and I am very much kind of a rhythm person, not necessarily a schedule as in like it's 8:30, like we have to get started, rah, and then like yelling at everybody, because that didn't help last year at all. So this year, kind of what I decided to do was more or less a rhythm, which is kind of a natural way of how our day progresses. And I do have, certain times that I want to get things done and things like that. But on most days, we kind of just go along the same rhythm and the same schedule, and we get pretty much everything done that we need to. There are those days where we don't start when I would like, and so things go a lot later, and we don't get as much done, and everybody has those days. But for the most part, the rhythm, the schedule that I'm going to share with you guys is pretty much what we follow on a daily basis. So for the first thing I like to say is I have never, ever, ever been an early riser. I don't like it. It makes me grumpy. If I don't get the right amount of sleep, I am just a terror. I'm going to say that. Full transparency, I am a very grumpy morning person if I don't get the right amount of sleep. And so you see all these moms who get up at like 5 or 6 and they like work out and they like eat breakfast and do like their devotionals and stuff. No. I've tried that. I have. And it just never works out. So my body, I kind of let my body tell me when to get up because, again, right now we have a baby, and so I'm up once or twice a night doing some feeding. And so with that, I think that's also adding to how tired I am. So that kind of also plays into everything. So right now, for the past, I would say 6 months or so, I have been getting up between like 7 and 7:30, somewhere around there. My kids are already up, but they know that they are not allowed to get out of their room until I come and get them. This is something that I was really adamant about ever since they had like big beds, not a crib, but like big beds that they could get out of. They can stay in the room, they can read books, they have puzzles in there, they have toys, but they have to do a quiet activity until I come and get them, unless they have to go to the bathroom. They can leave the room if they get out of or have to go to the bathroom. Again, it gives them time to play in the morning, so it's like I'm not going in and waking them up and then right away we have to start. Their brain can have time to kind of wake up, play, and they have some like downtime to do whatever they want. And then when I'm ready, then we all go and have breakfast together. And then that's kind of how we start our day. But before I go and get them, I do most days try my hardest to get in some devotional time, some Bible reading time, because that's just kind of really the only time that I have. But I'm sure things will change, and I really hope that they do, because I do miss I miss something when I don't have my devotional in my day, and so I really hope that that becomes something that I have more time for. And I know that that sounds really bad, but season of life that I'm in. So anyway, okay, so I'm ready. I get up, I wake up, and I do my devotional, and then I go right into the shower. Now, I cannot stand, like, even on weekends, I cannot stand, like, waking up and then, like, going and starting my day not showered. I don't know, it drives me crazy. So, I guess I don't know. I'm weird. That's okay. So I have to start my day with a shower too. So then I get up and I shower, do all my stuff. And then when I am completely ready, and the baby's nursed, I guess I just did that too. She also nurses when we wake up. And then I go and get the kids, and we all come out for breakfast. And then we have breakfast probably around 8. 8 o'clock is kind of when we've been doing breakfast. And so the baby gets her breakfast, and then the kids eat their breakfast, and we all sit at the table and eat breakfast together, and that's very nice. And then when they are finished with their breakfast, they clean up their dishes, and then brush their teeth and change their clothes. And that's kind of the unofficial, like, start of our morning, is when the kids get changed and brush their teeth, because breakfast has been done. And then usually while they're doing that independently, I am changing the baby's diaper, putting her in her clothes, and then putting her down for her nap. So usually from about 9 to 9:15 is when I put her down for her first nap. And that really, that morning nap is crucial for everybody in this household right now. Because number one, if she does not get her morning nap, she's awful, and she's super grumpy, and it's just not good. So she has to still have a nap in the morning, and she is going to be 8 months old December 1st. So that's still a very, very large part of our day, and that is when we do the majority of our homeschool. So she usually sleeps from about 9:15ish to like 10:30 or 11, depending on lots of factors. But that is when we get the bulk of our school done. I would say more or less are like individual topics, because it's just really hard to have like one kid at the table doing their stuff, and then the other kid next to you like building with Legos, and then having a baby screaming. It's just really hard and frustrating. So I just found that to keep everything really calm and moving smoothly, to do all of our individual topics while she's sleeping. So then we come in here and we start our day, and we do math, we do language arts, and that's like reading and spelling, and our phonics cards and calendar. We do the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, that's kind of when we do all of that stuff. And that usually lasts right up till about 12 o'clock. Again, if we get started between 9 and 9:30, we can usually get done by 12 with math and the whole language arts arena. And then we do lunch, and we usually try and get a walk in right after lunch. And then about 1 o'clock, I would say, 1 o'clock, yeah, we kind of transition into the afternoon kind of school. And so that's when I nurse again. And while I am nursing, the kids do their handwriting. And so that's only a couple of times a week. But that is kind of just the perfect time, because I put on some really calm music for everybody, and they just have a really good time doing their handwriting and not like talking and like moving around or whatever. So they're stationary, they're doing their handwriting. I'm nursing the baby, and then right from there the baby goes to sleep. And so that will usually be between 1:30 and 2. So then I usually have the kids go back into their room for some quiet time. They can do any kind of quiet activity. They have leap pads in there, puzzle, like I said before, puzzles, books, all of those kinds of things to keep them awake, but not necessarily have them be screaming and running around the house, because I think it's super important that us homeschool parents, we get some downtime during the day too, because homeschooling is super hard, and some days are really hard to kind of just keep your cool. And so you need that downtime to kind of decompress and then get ready for the rest of the day. So then we do quiet time until about 3:30, and then we get up. The baby gets up. I nurse again. And then we do science. And we do science twice a week now. And the kids just love science. They look forward to it every time we do it. And that usually lasts about a half an hour. So we're usually clocking in about 4 o'clock, getting all of our stuff done. And then that's kind of their, like, school is overtime. Go outside and play if it's not too cold or rainy. If we have projects, we usually do them at that time, like after 4 o'clock. But we don't have that many projects. So usually they get to go outside and play or do whatever they want. Within reason. They can't, go knock down everything they want. But that kind of, again, brings us to the end of the school day. And then we do dinner and baths if we have to in that time. And then usually around 7 o'clock, it's kind of when everything is done, dinner's cleaned up, the kids are bathed, and I have them get their pajamas on and brush their teeth. The baby goes to sleep. I nurse her while they're getting ready. My husband has been amazing at kind of helping with this part of the night. And so I really rely on him, and he's so awesome. I love him. So that's kind of how that goes. And then at 7 o'clock, when everybody is kind of brushed, pajamaed, the baby's in bed, we come out to the living room, and that's when we do our read-alouds. I call it the morning basket, just that's because what everybody else calls it. But for us, it's more like the good night basket or like the evening basket. But it works for us kind of right now, again, in this season, to do it at nighttime. It's a very calm way to just close the day. Everyone is calm. Everyone is sitting on the couch or on their rugs on the floor, and everybody has a quiet activity to do. I'm reading, which is what I just love to do. The kids are engaged with it, and then after reading, they get to go to bed. So that's kind of our rhythm, the flow of our day. Again, I kind of put like rough times on there, I think, just for the sake of having a schedule, that I can illustrate. But really, again, that's just our flow. And so sometimes we get started really late and we maybe just have time for like math and some of language arts in the morning, and then we have to like pour that over after lunch. We have to like do like homework, I guess, and then just the day gets away. And that happens, and that's okay. That's just, again, the beauty of homeschooling. Sometimes we have outings and field trips and things like that. And in that case, we usually do a makeup school. If we have a lot of stuff going on one day, I usually don't try and like cram school in. If we do not get school started by the latest, like 10 o'clock, I usually kind of just have that be a free day. Because it just kind of throws everything off. It throws the schedule of the baby off, which is non-negotiable, guys. Like, she really is kind of the dictator at this point as far as like her nap times and nursing times and things like that. And I think that's okay, but I'm sure it will change in a while. So for right now, that's our schedule, that's our flow. And this is kind of the part 2 of like the homeschooling with baby kind of world. And if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. But if there's something that you guys do with babies as far as like a schedule that I'm not doing, please tell me so I can try it out and just make my day go a lot more smoother. More smooth, whatever. That would be super awesome. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!